Good evening, I'm Simone Sanders. Tonight, we begin with the Trump White House facing backlash over top defense officials allegedly discussing classified military operations on a commercial messaging app. According to the administration, the only acknowledged mistake was the inadvertent inclusion of a journalist in the chat group. In the past few hours, administration lawyers have returned to court to address a lawsuit claiming these defense officials violated federal record-keeping laws by using Signal, an app that automatically deletes messages after a set period. Presiding over the hearing was U.S. District Judge James Boasberg, a figure President Trump has publicly criticized for over a week due to his ruling that blocked deportation flights of alleged Venezuelan gang members. In this case, Judge Boasberg granted a temporary restraining order requiring officials to preserve all Signal communications related to military operations. Boasberg also made a pointed remark, assuring that his decision would be documented in writing, a nod to the tension surrounding his oral and written rulings in the deportation case. Joining me now is New York Times Pentagon correspondent and MSNBC political contributor Helen Cooper, along with MSNBC national security analyst and former CIA officer Mark Polymeropoulos, and former acting assistant attorney general Mary McCord, MSNBC legal analyst and co-host of the Main Justice podcast. Mary, let's start with you. Judge Boasberg explained that he was assigned this case due to a computerized system that sorts cases by type. What's your reaction to his ruling this afternoon? Mary McCord: well, by the time the government presented its case in court and even in its opposition filing, they indicated they were already taking steps to preserve the Signal messages. Agency heads had reportedly ensured compliance, arguing that a temporary restraining order, TRO, was unnecessary. However, the judge proceeded with issuing the TRO, instructing that all Signal communications between March 11 and March 15 be preserved. He also ordered a status report by next Monday, requiring signed declarations from relevant agency officials confirming compliance. Simone Sanders: the Treasury Department has acknowledged recovering partial messages, with at least one agency having copied a version of the Signal chat into the federal record system. Additionally, as noted by the plaintiffs, The Atlantic had already published an article detailing the full conversation. Helen, you've reported extensively on the Pentagon. What are officials and service members saying in response to this controversy? Helen Cooper: thanks, Simone. Over the past 2 days, I've spoken with current and former fighter pilots, those who strap into cockpits on behalf of the United States daily. They are among those most affected by the revelations from the Signal chat, which reportedly included sensitive details about attack sequencing and exact takeoff times of F/A-18 fighter jets. This information, shared by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth in the chat, outlined not only when jets would take off from the USS Harry S. Truman but also when the second wave of fighter jets would arrive over the target area. That effectively provided adversaries, including the Houthis, who have demonstrated the capability to shoot down American aircraft, ample time to prepare their air defenses. The pilots I've spoken with are outraged and bewildered. They question how they can be expected to operate under stringent security regulations while the highest-ranking officials appear to disregard these same protocols. Aircraft carriers maintain rigorous communication security, to the extent that flight schedules are burned in special rooms to prevent leaks. These pilots are now grappling with a breach of trust, not only in the Pentagon's leadership but also in the broader system meant to protect them. Simone Sanders: this situation raises serious concerns about operational security and record-keeping practices at the highest levels. We will continue to follow this developing story.